Hello there, everyone, and a very happy Thursday. I do hope that other people dance along to our intro and it's not just me, because it does make me happy when I hear it. So hello there, everyone. I hope that you're having a fabulous week so far and you have something nice planned for the weekend as well. The lovely Angel will be behind the badge today and she'll be popping in all of the links. Thank you, everyone, for popping in. And I'm really excited to spend an hour with you all. If you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. So we did have a new release yesterday, so we're going to be taking a look at the new products. I'm excited for all of the things that we have to share. It's a little bit of a smaller release, so that means I'll be doing less jabbering and more creating. So let's get on with it. So I am going to move you guys down so you can see what's happening. You don't need to be looking at my face. We want to be looking at the projects and the products, right? So I'm just going to check and see if I missed any comments. I have kind of updated the live setup that I have. So it's over to the side a little bit more, so I do need to pay a little bit more attention to the comments than usual. Right, so first up we have our Crafty Life project kit. This is beautiful. I love all the kind of different things that you can do in this one. You have some varied kind of styles, I would say, but it all works together perfectly. So we have the 6x8 stamp set. You can see that we have this huge background stamp set. You don't necessarily have to use that as a background, right? What you could do, thinking about this now, is you could stamp this in a light colored ink and then take your pencils and try and trace this little bird. It's so cute. So we have all of those leaves. We have some beautiful sentiments in there. As always, we have inspiration and a layering guide in our packaging there. We also have a 3D embossing folder. This, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, right? You know me, I find something new in every release that's my favorite. I must have tons of favorites, but this one is fabulous. You have this beautiful background. You can see that you've got these kind of, I would say they were more tropical flowers, maybe a bit hibiscusy, but not a full hibiscus. Not sure what they are, but they are pretty. And then we also have the stencil set, which is going to color in this. Beautiful. We also have the die set. If you love some birds, this is so cute. So you're going to get two little birds. One's having a good old perch. The other one is flying. And then we have those two birdhouses. And we do have the layering guide on the back. For this one, we do have an add-on. So if you like to use the sentiments when they're cut out and you don't necessarily like to cut them out, we do have that little die set available. Here are two projects that I have with the kit. Very, very different. You can see we have this white on white. If you do want to see how this one was made, we do have the video hop, and I'll show you how to create this one from start to finish. And then we have this floral take on it as well. Very, very cool. Yes, the solid stamps. You don't normally get many, Vicky, but that one's a good one. Right. Next up, we have our Builder Garden, and this is Hellebore Haven, sorry. And in here, what you're going to get is, I'm going to move that off to the side because that's a standalone. You're going to get the 4x6 stamp set with this beautiful image. And we're going to get tons of beautiful sentiments in there. And we do, again, inspiration and the layering guide is in the back. In the inside of the packaging. You're also going to get the die set that's going to cut around the large image, and you have a friend sentiment. And you also have a simple coloring stencil set, which is going to color the layers of the stem. We don't normally do this. I think this may be the first time we did, but we have an add-on for the Builder Garden, which is a 3D embossing folder. So this is going to be sized exactly the same as the stamp set, the die set, and also the 3D embossing folder. So all of these will work together to create some beautiful projects. Here I have used all of it. The 3D embossing folder, the simple colouring stencil set, the die set, and also the stamp set to create this cute little card. I made this in a class. This one has the 3D embossing folder and this one is just flat, so this one doesn't have the texture, but that is what we... Campathy, hello! Hello everyone that has popped in. Laurie, I tried to have a green thumb, but yeah, I'm not there. I'm not there yet. Oh, thank you, Colleen. We had them done yesterday, so they're a bit festive. My nail girl, she is good. Right. We also have one of my favourite flowers, and I think it's because this is Wales's national flower, which is the daffodil. This is the Crafty Flower Narcissus layering die set. In here, you can see that we have tons of little flower heads. We have the trumpets, we have the stem, and we also have some leaves. On the back, you can see that we do have the layering guide to show you how to pop these together. And I have created 2 projects with this one. Near enough exactly the same, but I am loving this kind of color combo that we have going on. I'm trying to put things down so I don't put them one on top of each other so I can get to them easier later on, but we will see. Next up, we have the Creative Cuts, and this is Feathered Beauty. We do have a kind of bird theme, tree theme going on in this release that we have. So in here, we have this beautiful kind of vine flower. It looks like a clematis to me. And then we also have this beautiful blue jay. It is quite a sizable bird. And we have the layers there. This is one where you kind of cut all of these pieces out and you think, no way that is going to make a beautiful bird. This is the kind of base piece that you start off with. And then when you kind of pop all these pieces together using the keyhole system, it just brings itself to life. And it is such a stunning die. You can see here that I have been playing with this bird. I think that this is beautiful. It's so cute. You could change the colors up as well, and it would change what kind of bird it is. You don't always have to put his little face on either. If you wanted to kind of chop that up, you can do that as well. Hey, Mindy. All right, so let's move that over. Then we have the cutest little nests going on here. This is the Mini Delight Nestled Whimsy. So in the Mini Delight set, as always, you're going to get a 3x4 stamp set and also a mini die set. We say mini, it's small, but it's mighty. There is a lot that you can do with this. We have a couple of layered floral clusters on that, and here we have some inspiration on the back. And then we have the die set, which you're going to kind of cut out, layer up to create a beautiful little nest. It's very, very cute. So there are 2 projects with that one. All right, running out of room to put things already. Okay, then, hey Sue, and everyone else that has popped in, thank you so much for joining me. We have another cute little die set. If you love little die sets, especially ones that you can run through your mini blossom, this may be one that you want to kind of try out. This is the Decorative Lantern die set. Again, another small but a mighty die set. We have the upgraded packaging on there and the layering guide on the back. It is a very sweet one there. We also have a stencil set. This is branching out. We haven't done a kind of stencil like this, I don't think, before, where we have, it could almost be used as a background, but then you can also use the different branches on various different parts of your card. You can use them bare, or if you have watercolors or any kind of colouring media, you could add your own leaves onto there, or even die cut leaves and little die cut flowers, just to kind of give yourself a mixed media feel. Oh, I have a gem on the back. I don't know where that's come from, but it's found its way there. Then what we have is the piped floral lace. This is a stunning 3D embossing folder. I really, really like this one. This one is very subtle, doesn't take much away from the kind of focal image, but I think you could do a lot with it as well. You can see here that I've used it on a card, and I've just used it to add a little bit of texture to the background, but not taking anything away from the card itself. Next up, we have another kind of add-on, but this one is to a previously released Project Life, Crafty Life project kit, and that is the Arched Foliage. So this is one that we released a couple of months ago, and it already had a 3D embossing folder in there, which is this really cool kind of brick look. Oh, yes, Celia, you could use them as lightning. Sorry, I got distracted. But we also kind of really wanted to be able to play with this branch. And what we do is we have the stencil set or the stamp set from the Crafty Life project kit that will work perfectly for this. And you're going to be able to kind of cut that out with the die as well. So you can really kind of stretch what you can do with that project kit. Here's just a really quick and simple project using the 3D embossing folder and the colouring stencils from the past project kit. Okay, dokie. Don't be sorry you're late. It's fine. No one's late here. We're just glad that you've made it, right? We also have a couple of other things in this release. I love these cute little watercolor palettes, and I am going to be playing with these a little bit. We're going to create, we'll create something simple with these to show that you can do this really easily. We also have another live class coming up with Tasneem using these next week. So keep an eye out for that. So it's kind of an extra live, and you're going to be able to learn some watercolor techniques from the fabulous Tasneem. So this one is our watercolor compact, and we actually collaborated with Sarah Simon, the Mint Gardener, with these. She tested these paints and she actually curated the colors with these. I wish you could touch this, because the printing that we have on this is actually kind of raised and textured, so it gives you that really kind of luxurious feel to the palette itself. The paintings that we have on the boxes were actually done by Sarah as well. But this is the Deep Muse. In here we're going to get raspberry rose, lilac burgundy, golden ochre, mossy oak, still waters, and origin umber. Oh, the names, they are very, very pretty. To get into this watercolor compact, what you're going to do is you're going to press this button here, and that's going to release the catch. And even though these colors look kind of dark, they're not that dark. They're just very, very pigmented. They do have a kind of creamy, chalky texture to these, so they are a little bit more opaque. And then we also have a kind of mixing palette in the other side. So that one is the Deep Muse. We also have the Moody Brights. Please tell me which one you're kind of gravitating towards. I bet you can guess which one I like the most. This one is the Moody Brights. This one, it has the magenta crimson, velvet berries, peachy glow, lemon drops, mermaid green, and starry night. You can see that we have that beautiful kind of printing on the back there. Open those up and you can see that these ones are far more vibrant and bright than we have with the Deep Muse. I do have a kind of couple of, I don't know, projects or playing around with things that I did. This one was using the colors in the Deep Muse. So even though you can see that they're quite muted there. When you play with them, they're not as muted as you think they're going to be. Yeah, Moody Brights. The Moody Brights are winning. All of these, I think, were done with the Deep Muse. I haven't really played around with these, but these are the colours that you're going to get in there. And then we also have the Moody. Look at this colour here. That has my heart. But also, I love this blue. So also, if you kind of did mix these together, you have a really kind of cool palette as well. But if you just wanted to grab your brushes, a little palette and a water brush to go painting with, these would be a great size just to kind of slip in a pouch. You wouldn't need a whole bag to do that. I know you can't pick a favorite. So I'm like, I've got colors that are in there that are my favorite, colors in this one that are my favorite. I don't know. But yes, we will have a play with those. I'll paint a rose and maybe we can do a Christmas tree, a really quick Christmas tree. But I'll just move those over to the sides because we will be playing with those. One more thing that I have to share is the Petal Shaper tool set. It has took us a while to get these in and I am loving these. Oops, he wants to run away. If you love your 3D flowers, but you want to add a little bit more 3D to them, this is going to be your perfect partner to do that. So this is the Petal Shaper set. What you're going to get is 3 ball tools, each with varying sizes of balls on the end. They're quite weighty, especially this one. This one you could probably use for finger weights. But what you're going to do is you're going to be able to shape your flower petals. You're going to need the foam pad because this is going to give you pressure from the bottom, so you're not kind of going into your table. Yes, Smeeze. This is the kind of thing that if you've got not enough room on your craft desk, but you need watercolors, this is the perfect size to kind of just pop into a tiny little space that you may have. Oh, Christine got her petal shapers this morning. Good job. Right, so I did have, where did I put my prep? I have prep and I've lost it. Here we go. I know. So this is the Narcissus. Normally what you would do is you would shape your flower petals before you stick them together, but you can shape them when they're together. It's just a little bit more difficult. I am going to pull you down a little bit. Oh, wrong way. So we can kind of get a closer look. Hopefully everyone is seeing this clearly. Please let me know if you aren't. So we're just going to shape this one. And I am really sorry. I seem to be molting more than my dog at the minute. So I am sorry. So what we're going to do is we're going to shape this flower petal. I have kind of one of the smaller tools here. And all I'm doing is I am pressing kind of firmly, but not really hard, and just doing a circular motion on that petal. If you want more of a kind of elongated one, you can kind of pull it out a little bit, and that'll kind of add some lines on there as well. Yeah, the Narcissus is very pretty. And just changing the color, where's my other one? Just changing the color that you ink blend them really does change the look. So I'm just going to quickly do this. I'm going to lift that petal up. The trumpet would have been amazing if I had have shaped them beforehand. So circle, circle, circle. And then if you go around the edge of the petal as well, that's going to give you kind of folds in it too. Hopefully everyone is seeing this clear. Oh, purples. We all know I'm not a purple gal, but I'm thinking it would look good with some navy and purple. Maybe the purple as the kind of highlights and the navy as the dark pieces. Maybe. So obviously this would be easier to do it before you glue it together. I would definitely recommend shape first, glue later. But once I've done that one, okay, it might not look that very different when I have it like that, but when I lift, just look how kind of natural that shaping is. So these ones have not been done, and this one has. It's given such a really pretty look to it. So there is our Narcissus and our tools. I really do hope that you guys grab those and start creating some really beautiful florals with them. I'm just going to move you out again. Okay. Oh yes, Christine, I do like those new purples. You know I'm a blue girl, so those blue purples, I really do like them. All right, so I said I was going to do a rose, so let us do a rose. I'm just going to grab some watercolor. Oh, it would look cute on a gift. I'm thinking as well for this, because it just looks kind of perfect the way it is. You could add this onto an envelope or a box and add a wax seal to kind of seal it on, and I think that would look really cool. All right, so let us have a little play. Right, I have water. So I just wanted to show you how easy it is to kind of do a rose. Again, I'll pull you in. So this is the kind of, I don't know, inspiration that I have. Might have gone a little bit too far in, but hopefully. Christine, we could make it into wall art. So I'm going to play with the Moody Brights because I didn't very much. So I'm going to activate my colors. All I do to activate them is just squirt them with my very dapper Mister. And let's create a little flower. So let's create a color. So we have this beautiful raspberry rose. And I think that if you guys have watercolors with you now, you should go grab them. And at least the second project I have with this, you'll be able to do. Okay? But I think you'll be able to do this. I mean, if you're watching this on recorded, the replay, you definitely kind of pause me and go and get your bits. All right, so what I'm going to do is I have my color. There we go. The tip on that one wasn't doing it for me. Okay, so I have my beautiful lilac burgundy. I'm very burgundy. What we're going to do is we're going to create the center of the rose first. And all this is some little C shapes, okay, with the curl of the C being a little bit thicker than the little tips of the C. So hopefully you're close enough. If not, I can do a second one. You can see that we're just creating that little C. And then we're just going to create another C in the opposite way. Okay, not perfect. And then another C. And you're just going to keep doing C's. You can add some water and make those petals a little bit thicker. You want to leave white space in here, so bits that you are not touching with water or paint, and that is what's going to give you the kind of open areas or light shades in your rose. Okay, lots of little C's. This is a pretty colour. I'm just going to wash my brush. So I've got nearly nothing on there now, and then we're just going to pull that kind of colour out a little bit. And you know what? Just get some watercolor paper, get your watercolors out, and just have a play with it. You can drop in some of that colour as well. See? If you're not liking it, let it dry a little bit, okay? I always find that I get to a point where I'm like, no, I don't like it. I'm not loving this at the minute, right? But when you leave it to dry, this is the kind of look that you're going to get. It's not going to look exactly the same, and it will dry back a little bit. So that is the kind of rose shape that we have. For our little flowers, these are quite easy too. We're just gonna do some little dots and then pull that out. Okay, so we can do 5 little dots. So we could practice over here, or we can just add one in. So 1 little dot, 2 little dots, 3 little dots, 4 little dots, 5 little dots. You could do this with a smaller brush if you wanted the flowers to be smaller, but I've cleaned my brush off now. So I've got near enough no colour on there. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the colour, we're going to press down, and then we're going to lift up. Okay, so you get to do this 5 times. So grabbing it, lifting the brush down, and then lifting up. And if you're not liking what it is, it's okay. Go in and grab it again and lift up. Clean the brush off. Okay. So grabbed it, lifting the brush down. I could have been doing this with a thicker brush. I wouldn't need to go in twice, but it's all practice. Grab. Oops. That one did not go to plan, but it's fine. It'll dry and it'll be cute. Also, I normally spin my paper around. We're not spinning today because you guys will get very sick. So grab it, press it down and lift up. And then we'll just shape off the other side there. And there we go. I'm going to leave that to dry before we put the center in, because if we drip some color into that now, it's just going to go out with where the water is. I'm going to grab another brush for my leaves. I wanted a thicker one. And this is the mermaid green. Thank you, Christine. And I think that, you know, that is easy enough to do. And I reckon if everyone takes, you know, a little bit of time, oh, oops, put it in there. You can have a play with it. And I reckon you'll be able to get something close. Okay. So for the leaves, what we're going to do is we're going to take our green. We're going to press down. We're going to press lightly first, press down, and then lift up. So down, press, and lift up. So down, press, and lift up. Didn't really get a great tip on that one, so you can just kind of put that one in. No, it's not hard, right? All it's going to take is a little bit of a patience. And I think that everyone is going to be able to create a little rose and a little kind of forget-me-not flower. But there we go. So my other idea, so if you're not ready for that one just yet, it's fine. And all the kind of wreath is just those flowers that I've just shown you, just painted on a circle. So once you've kind of played around with doing this, you can also play around with that as well. Okie dokie. So my other idea with this for creating an easy Christmas card is my idea. I'm just going to move that over because it's wet and I'm just going to create a mess if I go on that. I was going to. Well, not. This is going to be one of the easiest Christmas cards that you create with watercolors, right? So we are going to take some tape. And pretend that this here is one panel, that's another panel. We can do that later on. What all we're going to do is, and people are going to be like, oh, that is beautiful. So I'm taping off a triangle. See how easy that was? It's not perfect. It's okay. Oh yes, try it on tags. Put it in the fan page. I'm going to want to see what you guys are creating. And what I'm going to do is I am going to paint myself a little tree. Okay, so I've got my green. Might be a little bright at this point, but it's okay. I'm going to paint that on. I want to be able to get that kind of watercolor look. So I've just swatched that paint down. I'm also then grabbing some more of it and dabbing it on. And that's going to give us darker areas and lighter areas. And then I'm going to go and grab something else. Okay. I don't want to pull that tape off while it's this wet just yet. All right. But I have my metallic watercolors. So yes, you can play around with these with that as well. Just gonna do that. Let us, I want this to dry a little bit. Yes, Christine, it should be in perfection, right? I am going to just turn my heat tool on. Okay. Just gonna, it's going to be a little bit noisy. Sorry, guys. Okay. That'll do. All right, let's create a kind of little garland, maybe. So I've got my golden watercolor. I'm just gonna do little kind of do 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 do. So if you've got cards to do really quickly, I would suggest pulling this one out, right? So I've done my little swags and they are going to catch the light perfectly. Pull. Oh, we could do this properly handmade as well. All right. And you're like, what are you talking about, Lydia? I will show you. Okay. And then obviously our little tree is going to need a little star. So the way I do a star is I make a little triangle and then I just, there we go. He is so cute. All right, okay. Obviously, I always say as well, when you have your colors like this, your watercolors, don't kind of just close that up and put that away. You're going to want these colors to dry before you flip it and put it away. So I always let mine dry out on my window shelf open. So it's just something I do. I don't know if it will help you guys, but That's over on my little shelving unit behind me. We can literally fold this in half in a minute. Right, okay. Do we need a little trunk? No, we don't. So I am gonna grab, oops, wrong one. I've got my Altenew one here. Sometimes it needs a bit of a pump to get it going. I might have used mine so much. Okay, we'll use the other ones. We are good. All right, so I have my calligraphy pen. What shall I write? All right. Okay. Just trying to think. Okay. I am sorry that I've gone quiet, but if you know me, you know that I am not great at spelling. So there is happy and then holidays. So there we go. I think I spelled it correctly. Hopefully. All right. Oops. Sorry, I just nudged everything. I was going to grab my score board because I think we should be able to kind of just score this. So the card is 5 by 7, so it's going to be 3.5 scored down, she says, questioningly. All right, here we go. All right, okay, I'm going to move you guys back out because everything's very close. And I should have kind of figured out where that center was before I did my little tree. But that has to be one of the quickest and easiest holiday cards that you've ever seen. So if you're really not confident enough to kind of give the little rose and little flower a go, try the trees. And I think it's going to be good. There's another way that you can kind of make a Christmas tree as well. And it's just using like the leaves that we have over here. What I'm going to do is instead of using tape, I am going to add a guideline instead. Because I find with the leaf tree, you need it to be a little bit imperfect around the outside edge. Okay. So I'm going to use the same brush as before, but I do want a more of a tree, pine tree. Oh, look at that pine tree color. So this one is from the Deep Muse. So we're going to go down and lift up. Go down and lift up. Try it this way. Might be easier for me. Okay. But this one, you're just literally practicing your leaf shapes. And it is going to help you. And when you do this, you may want like to do some of the leaves and then kind of go back to it when it's dry. Okay. I am going to move on to another project because maybe I've played around with these watercolors a little bit too much and people wanted to see a card project. But we did create a card project, but you can see just how easy that is. And when you turn that around, it actually looks like a Christmas tree. It's clever, right? Simple, quick, easy. Get your watercolors out and give that a go. I am going to move these over. Remember, let those dry before you close the lid. Okay. Right, let us create another colourful project. It has to be colourful. And I want to use the Craft Your Life project kit. So maybe out. But yeah, look how cute that is. That turned out way better than I thought it was gonna. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be using the Craft Your Life project kit, and I'm gonna kind of create this card, but with this one it took a long time. Yes, Angel, good call. I'm going to leave that out and we are going to put some dots on that once it's dry. Good call, Angel. So with this one, what I did is I colored that background, and sometimes people don't have time to color backgrounds with markers. For me, I like it. It relaxes me. But for other people, they don't want to deal with that. So what I do is ink the inside of the embossing folder. So this is the Whispers in the Canopy. And I'm just going to move that over to the side. And I want to add ink onto the background. So to figure out what your background is, I'm just going to move that out. Is you're going to kind of just touch this, and the one that has more of a kind of, I don't know, smooth edge, it's normally the front piece, it's normally the one with the writing. With this one it is the one with the writing, but you can feel the background. With the background on this one, it's all kind of everywhere, but with this one, lovely and smooth. So that is the side that we are going to be using. I'm going to make sure that I've got my cardstock ready to go. I don't know why, but I always feel like it's a race against time when I'm doing this technique. It's probably not. Probably that ink's going to stay there for a while, but in my brain, it's like it's going to run off. And what I have is the Evergreen. And this is our pigment ink. I do find that pigment ink works better for this technique. It does take a little bit of a longer time to clean off the embossing folder, but I do find that this works better. And for this technique, I'm more of a swirler. So I'm kind of just dropping that ink on there and no pressure. I'm just swirling it around. It's kind of just like a whisper. It's called Whispers in the Canopy, and we're just whispering that ink across that. So I'm not really adding any pressure, but I am going over a couple of times to make sure that that is covered. And it is going to pick up on some of the higher areas on the flowers and the leaves, but it's just going to add to the texture. It's going to be fine. It's going to look, it looks like letterpress, kind of. If you didn't want this here, you could literally clean that off, but I'm going to leave it in. All right, and then I'm going to grab my cardstock, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place this down. Once you have placed it, you don't want to move it. So figure out and just drop. Oh no, I did what I told everyone not to do and I moved it, but it's going to be fine. Closed it up. I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. If you are using a Platinum 6, the pressure that I find that works best for a 3D embossing folder is plate A, plate B, and one cutting plate on top of the 3D embossing folder. I do want to say that your embossing machine or your die cut machine may have a different pressure than mine. And if you find that it's really struggling to go through, don't force it too much. We do not want you to break your machine or your embossing folder. Okay. Whew. So we run that through. Oh wow, it's 9:15. Huh. We may go a bit over today, Angel. I am sorry, but I was having too much fun with the watercolors, right? But you can see just how cool that background is. That is pigment ink. It's water-based pigment ink, so a wet wipe will clean that off, or just put it under your tap with some mild soap, and that'll clean it off as well. So we have our image here, and what we're going to do is we're going to colour it in using the simple colouring stencil set. I will try to speed myself up. Because I know that everyone, not everyone has, loads of time and they have things to do. Everyone has lives, right? All right, so we are going to add some colour to this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and add quite a bit of lightness to this. So I'm going to use the colours, but I'm not going to go all the way over. I'm going to go with Winter Lake. I need to remind myself to clean that. So I'm just dabbing it in. I always dab it off into my lid. Just going to quickly swirl that colour on. It's not perfect. It's going to be fine. Because like I said, I do want to add that very much lightness to the edge of these petals. And these leaves have got layers, so I don't need to worry about kind of covering all of it. Please let us know what your favourite from this release has been. Has it been the watercolours? Do you want to try them? Are you intrigued to give those little trees a go? I hope you are. I was hoping I would get people to go and grab their watercolours out. Okay, so there is our first layer done. I find that my tweezers really do help with kind of removing that stencil. I'm going to need number 2. Actually, I'm going to go with number 3. Because number 2 has got flowers on. And I can do some of these leaves first. I'm sorry if I'm getting my head in. I just want to make sure. Oh, Laura. Yes, Laura's going to go and grab hers out. I'm really excited for people. Oh, watercolors. I'm so glad. I have been very excited about these. These are one of the watercolors that has been sat on my desk, and I'm like, I can't use them in a live. Can't use them in a live. And I was really excited to use them today. So that's why we kind of spent so much time on them. This one, sorry, is the Arctic Mountain. Okay, and then nearly missed that bit. And then we have that flower, which is another layer. Oh, look how pretty that is. All right, I haven't finished with that one, so that's why I'm leaving it there. I'll go in with the flowers. I am going to go pinky. When I say pinky, more corally, sorry. So we're going with the pink pearl. Really easy to do. So we've already kind of added in that background color with the 3D embossing folder, which has got to be one of the coolest techniques, right? So that is our pink pearl. I have another layer of pink. Oh, look how cool that is. We have this flower over there, which is going to require some pink pearl. Oh, Christine, the magic is done by the designer, right? The one that sat there and designed all of these beautiful stencils that work together. We're just, you know, slapping some color on there and we're just making it look amazing. So that is that. We also have a layer for this little bud. Pink pearl. Beautiful. We then have our second layer. I'm going to move those blues out of the way a little minute. I'm debating whether or not those new purples are going to work with on the leaves as well. It's going to be a bit of a random color combo, but you know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you know not to waste your cardstock like Lydia did. Oh, Christine, yes, the girls, when they are designing, they put so much effort into these, so we don't have to. And I applaud them every time we get new products. And like, oh. And they're always trying to do something new. They do so well. Right, so we're going to go with Coral Bliss, as well. Just add into that. Just adding the ink really to the center. I'm not worrying about bringing it all the way to the edge. It kind of does that itself. Ooh, 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 pretty. And then we have this other layer over here. Again, Coral Bliss, one of my favorite colors. This Tea Party color family has been out for years. Still one of my favorites. I'll grab this all the time. And then we have a third layer. So I am going to have to go and grab another color. And it will be Heart Beat. I'm going to add that in. So just Coral Bliss into the buds. I didn't even have to add any more onto the tool. That's good enough. Heartbeat. Doot. I am trying to get this done so we can try those enamel dots on that little leaf tree. Pull this over. Just have that second layer on there. And that is that on that one, but we also have that third layer on this stencil, which is stencil number 3. Look how beautiful that is, and it looks so tropical. Oh, it's amazing. Yes, when my little girl used to do crafting, I mean, she's a teenager now, so she's far too cool to be spending time doing it. But I imagine when she gets a little bit older, and she wants to spend a little bit more time with me rather than her phone, she may get back to the stenciling. But when I ask her to kind of craft with me, what she does like to do is color die cuts. with ink blending. She hasn't really done the stencils yet, but maybe I should try her out. Oh, I've gone blue over the flower center. It's going to be fine. Same as before, this is the Arctic Mountain. I'm just adding another layer to the Arctic Mountain that we've already used. And because inks are like a little bit translucent-y, so these can layer up and give you that deeper color. All right. Oops. And then this is where I maybe going to, the white leaves look pretty, I have to say, but we have another stencil and it would be rude at this point not to do it. My brain is debating with itself whether or not I've made a good choice with what I'm going to do now. I mean, you guys can let me know if you hate it or you love it, but we're giving it a go. I'm going to go in with Twilight Sky. I don't, Dreamy Peri, do I do Dreamy Periwinkle and then see if I go Twilight Sky? Okay. Dreamy Periwinkle first. You can hear the doubt in my voice. I can even hear it. I'm thinking, am I adding too many different colours to this? Because we've already got that green background. We've got those pinks. We've got blue leaves. And then just to add another colour into the mix. I think I am going to add some of that Twilight Sky as well. So this is the Dreamy Periwinkle first. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with that Twilight Sky just to deepen it. Okay. It's very royal colour, this one. It's always good when you kind of do it and you think, oh, yeah, it's beautiful. All right, okay. Do you love a really dark? There we go. Are we ready? Okay. So, lift this up. Okay, it's not as kind of shocking as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, we can see the different kind of colors on there. And if you did just go blue, you can kind of create different looks on. I am liking it. It's a very different look than this one over here though. But just changing colors is something that is going to do that. Right. We are going to finish off our little tree. Okay. Tweezers. So what I'm going to do is I have some, I know you said enamel dots, Angel, but the first thing I grabbed was the gem sparkles. Because what you can do is you can add a little star onto the top, and then you can also add some little baubles. So these round circular objects that you put on a tree, in the UK, we call them baubles. I know in the US you call them ornaments. So baubles, ornaments, whatever you want to call them. If you had tons of like enamel dots or gem sparkles that you wanted to use, this might be an awesome way to use them. Okay. Oops. It's different colored ones as well. Yeah. Just going to finish this off. goes to show that a wonderfully hand painted and then hand decorated watercolor tray doesn't need to take you that long, but there we go. So what we have looked at today is we've done a little bit of embossing, coloring the background with ink first and then adding color. We have also done some watercoloring where I've shown you how to create this rose. So if you wanted to kind of practice with this, rewind this to the start and you're going to be able to do that. We've created a leafy tray and also a really easy tray with watercolors and also some metallic sparkle. I really do hope that you've enjoyed this. I thought we were going to be a little bit more over. We're trying to put those gems together, but because stenciling doesn't take that long, we didn't go over that much at all. So, hey everyone! I'm a little bit out of breath. The stenciling caught up with me in the end, but I really do hope that you've enjoyed this session with me. I have enjoyed every second of it, and I was so excited to play with the new Watercolor Compacts today. I really do hope that you grab your watercolors and have a little bit of a play with them. I know that sometimes they can be a little bit daunting, but I have tried to show you that just playing around with them a little bit, you are going to get something really pretty at the end of it. I really do hope that you have enjoyed this session today. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to the lovely Angel for adding in all of the links. I know I can get carried away with things, and you are always great, and a great call on adding some enamel dots or gem sparkles to that tree as well. Thank you, everyone. I really do hope that you have a great weekend, and I hope that we've inspired you today. Hope you get crafty, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. And just clicking it. Bye-bye again.